This is nerd culture. Alien Isolation is one of the scariest games ever made. It was so relentless, so suffocating, that a huge number of players who bought it never actually finished it. They were too stressed to reach the end. And now, after more than a decade, there's a sequel. Which means Creative Assembly is walking straight into the single most dangerous trap in horror. How do you follow up a game that was perfect precisely because it made you feel completely powerless? By the end of this, I'll show you why that paradox is the whole ballgame. So let's get into it. Because most sequels have an easy job. Give people more of what they loved plus extra. More power, more weapons, more enemies, more spectacle. But Alien Isolation didn't work because of any of that. It worked because it took everything away from you. And that makes a sequel almost a contradiction in terms. To see the trap, you have to understand exactly why the original was so effective. It broke every rule of a normal game. In Alien Isolation, you're hunted through a decaying space station by a single Xenomorph. Just one, but it's unscripted, it learns your habits, and it cannot be killed. You have almost no way to fight back, so you hide in lockers, you hold your breath, you crawl through vents, and you pray it doesn't hear you. There's no power fantasy anywhere in it. It's pure, sustained helplessness. And that is exactly what made it one of the most frightening experiences in the medium. One alien did that. A single creature generated so much stress that finishing the game became a badge of honor, and plenty of people who loved it still tapped out before the credits. Hold on to that fact, because it's going to matter enormously for the sequel. Now here's the paradox that Creative Assembly has to solve. The instincts of a sequel are the enemy of this specific game. A sequel is supposed to escalate. Give the player more tools, more firepower, a fighting chance. But the second you hand the player real power, the fear evaporates. Suddenly you're not hiding from the alien, you're managing it. And if you escalate the other direction, throwing in more aliens or bigger set pieces, you shatter the intimate one-on-one terror that made the first so unbearable. The core challenge is almost philosophical. How do you make a bigger, richer game that's still fundamentally about being tiny and defenseless? Look at that and you realize every normal sequel instinct points the wrong way. Bigger, stronger, more, all of it works against the exact feeling the series is built on. This is a game where the sequel has to resist being a sequel. So how are they trying to thread it? What Creative Assembly has shown so far is genuinely clever. Revealed at Summer Game Fest, the sequel drops you onto a storm-ravaged Weyland-Yutani colony world with a new protagonist and a deadlier xenomorph. And the design lead's approach is telling. Instead of giving you more power, they're giving the world more ways to kill you. They're combining claustrophobic interiors with hostile exteriors, natural hazards outside, tight corridors inside, and the alien hunting you through the gaps between them. They kept the pillars, line of sight, evasion, using tools to distract the threat. The genius move is that they expand the game by making you more exposed, not less. A new world, a new lead, a nastier alien, and for the first time, deadly open spaces to go with the corridors. It's bigger, but every addition is a new way to be vulnerable, not a new way to feel safe. That's the needle they're threading. But there's a second trap lurking behind the first, and it's the one nobody talks about. The original was so intense that many players admired it more than they actually played it. If the sequel nails that same suffocating dread, it risks the exact same fate. A masterpiece people respect from a distance and never finish. So the true challenge isn't just making you afraid, it's making you afraid and somehow still making you want to press forward into the dark. Scare too little and it's not Alien. Scare too much and nobody sees the ending. So the whole game comes down to one high wire act. Recreate a feeling that only works because it gave you nothing, in a sequel that's expected to give you more. My read? If anyone can do it, it's the studio that pulled it off the first time, and their plan of expanding the threat instead of your power is exactly right. But this is that rare sequel where being too faithful is its own risk. Get it right and it's a horror landmark all over again. Get it slightly wrong in either direction and you either lose the fear or lose the players who can't stomach it. Alien Isolation 2 isn't just trying to be scary, it's trying to survive its own perfection. So if this cracked the scene wide open for you, do me a favor and tap subscribe. You'd be one of the very first and there's a whole lot more nerd culture on the way.